Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Jack. Welcome back to another video. I am doing another video on the couch. This is only the second video I think I've done on this couch, but today we're going to be talking about the skills you need to be a successful video editor. 5 key points that really do help the creative process. Overall, these are things that I've been tuned into, that I've noticed in myself, that are key aspects of kind of some things that just help me go about my creative process when I'm actually visualizing, creating, and overall composing and putting together a project, whether that be just a video editing based project or whether I'm shooting the video and also editing it. So without further ado, let's get into the skills you need to be a successful video editor. Number one, super simple one. No one's gonna be denying this one, I doubt, and that is storytelling. Obviously, video editing is a form of storytelling, with the more obvious version being a movie. Obviously, that's quite literally a story, but even in the sense of composing all your assets and materials in a way that they are going to be either chronological or in a way that makes sense and actually is delivering a message or telling some sort of story, which delivering a message is a type of telling a story. But overall, storytelling is a key skill that you do need to be a video editor, whether that be composing a music video, you're leading from beginning to middle to end. All of these key aspects are part of storytelling, and overall, storytelling will massively be a key thing you're gonna need to be talking about. Like I said, even whether it's just organizing the beginning, the middle, and the end, which is a form of story. Either way, storytelling undoubtedly is a huge skill you can utilize, and will overall need throughout the course of your career as a video editor. Next up on my list is going to be visualization. The reason for that is, before you go about telling a story, before I personally go about telling a story or creating any sort of piece of content, I visualize what that's going to look like. A lot of the time before I've shot it, with the majority of the stuff that I'm actually filming and then editing, but even with the stuff that I'm editing, if I've given a brief by a client or whatever the case may be, I go about picturing what the end result is going to look like. That starts giving me an idea of the actual technical process of what I'm gonna have to do, where I'm gonna have to cut it, music, etc., sound effects, whatever little effects I'm deciding to use. Overall, I'm visualizing the final result, and that's a key part of how I go about filming as well, because when you really get into the habit of starting to visualize what the end result is going to look like when you're filming as well, it's an even bigger and better result, because you can quite literally picture yourself editing the project once it's done being filmed, and picture how you're going to edit it and then film accordingly to that, or whatever the case may be. Even if you're not filming the actual content as well as editing it, even editing alone, you are going to need visualization. And I'm sure if you're watching this and you're a video editor, you know visualization is a key part of the process of how you begin to come up with an idea of what the end result is going to look like. You know, you don't start an edit and then end it and it's like, oh wow, look how this turned out, unless you go about it like that. But personally, I definitely visualize what the final result's going to look like, and that gives me an idea of what the editing process is also kind of going to entail, if you will. And that actually leads me on to my next point, which is overall sculpting and composing, right? Sculpting, I'm just gonna call this point sculpting, actually, screw composing. I just threw that word in there for a little bit of jazz, but sculpting is definitely a key role in the video editing process as well. When you visualize, which is obviously the previous step, or after you visualize, you have to go about compiling and sculpting your project. I personally might go over a 1 minute project, a 2 minute project, whatever, about five different times. Just keep, running it through, more than 5. I don't know why I said 5. Way more than 5. I go through a project loads of times, sculpting away little bits, molding it into exactly what I want, into the project that I originally visualized in the previous step. So sculpting is a key role in actually going about the creative process, and I'm a perfectionist, so your sculpting process might be less than mine. I'm kind of like a little bit what's it, OCD type of thing, you know what I mean? I like things to be kind of perfect and exactly how I want it. Like if I even leave a tiny bit in the edit that I don't like, in the future to come when I watch that, every time I see the little bit that I knew I could have done better, it really bugs me, and it almost puts me to the point where I can't watch the video anymore, because it just kind of bugs me too much. I'm weird like that. You probably don't have that problem, but overall, sculpting and really perfecting your art by rounding off all the edges, so to speak, of course, and overall just perfecting this piece and sculpting it into a really nice final product is going to be a key skill for you to actually use when you're video editing. And obviously the next one is going to be problem solving. And this actually leads me into my 5th point as well, but we'll focus on this one quick. Problem solving is going to be so key. Honestly, there's always something going wrong. Like, honestly, I don't know if that's because I've pirated most of my video editing software, to be fair, but there does seem to be a lot of stuff going wrong with video editors, whether it be clips not turning up because you took out a flash drive or something like that, or whatever the case may be, effects not working correct. It's a techie process, man. And problem solving is going to be such a key skill for you if you're a video editor, because there's always something going wrong. I swear, there just seems to always be something going wrong. I exaggerate, not always, but it's often enough that you think there's always something going wrong, you know what I mean? And problem solving is going to be crucial to you, because when something inevitably goes wrong, which is you're gonna have to figure out a way around this. And oftentimes this could be a project ruining thing that's gone wrong, and you have to go on Google, figure out all these different forums and stuff like that, which I have oftentimes had to go through when the problem is quite deep, and just kind of problem solve it, figure it out, and obviously you get a nice relief when you've solved whatever issue that was. But problem solving, key, you can't avoid it. If you're not a problem solver and you're gonna get stressed out really easily, which personally I can get stressed out pretty easily sometimes when, especially when I've been working for a long time and then something goes wrong. That's the most annoying. You know, if you've been working for hours and hours and something goes wrong, it can be the most demotivating thing. But the best thing is just to problem solve, keep going, push through that, and you usually figure out a way to solve whatever you're dealing with. I don't think there's ever been anything that crippled me to the point where I just couldn't do anything about it, you know what I mean? But problem solving, absolutely crucial. And that's gonna lead me on to my last point, which is techie. You don't have to be techie as in, like HTML or some shit like that. Obviously, that's not even related whatsoever, but you do have to be techie as in you do have to understand these video editing programs. They are a form of technology. You have to understand how they work, all the different kind of intricate stuff that goes into these programs, and that leads me on. That's how I said my last point led me onto this, because if you're not too techie, the problem solving bit is gonna be 1,000 times harder for you. You know what I mean? Like personally, I've been into computers and making videos and stuff since I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. So I've been messing with tech and computers and cameras for a very long time now. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely techie, but even I'm not amazing at it. You know what I mean? So for me personally, being technical, even just a little bit technically kind of capable, is going to be crucial for video editing and the video editing process, or else you're just going to spend a lot more time on YouTube searching in tutorials on how to do very basic things. But overall, the last one, not essential, but these are just 5 key kind of things that can go into becoming a successful video editor and just operating as a successful video editor mainly, right? Because all these key things are going to go into being a video editor, and a successful one at that. But overall, guys, I've been ItsJackCole. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe for more video editing / video production themed videos. I try to upload every day. I do miss some days. I'm only human, you know what I mean? But join the channel if you want tips, tricks, and overall information based in and around this area. But thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and goodbye.